Hi, and welcome to another episode of What's It Like with Yorks. I am your host, Yorks, and here with us in studio is Sharon Rurak. And a lot of you might not know who Sharon Rurak is, but I'm gonna actually give her the chance this time to introduce herself. Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Could
So,
you tell the people about yourself and what it is that you do?
yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, my name is Sharon Rurak. I run a PR business and it's called Vision PR Solutions.
Mhm,
I live in Saskatchewan here in Canada. I was
mhm.
born in Saskatchewan and have lived here for most of my life. Um, and then I'm in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, and I've been in the music business now for probably about 8.5 years. So
Okay. And you are involved in not just the music business, but you also promote and you're also involved in the Juno Awards, right?
absolutely, yes.
For for those people who don't know what the Juno Awards, could you explain in a brief nutshell what it is?
Yeah, so the Juno Awards would be comparable. It's the top music awards in Canada. So it would be comparable to the Grammy Awards in the US. So if you're unfamiliar
Wow.
with Junos, you could compare it to that, but it is the top award for music artists in Canada.
Oh, nice. Nice. Could you tell me how did you get started in the PR business?
Well, getting started in the PR business wasn't something that I had actually set out to do, but how I did end up getting started is the place of employment where I was working. Kay Anthony, one of the artists that I currently am still working with, he had stopped in to drop off a poster for a concert that he was having. So we started talking, and he was telling me about a video he was wanting to shoot in a classroom setting, and he was explaining it all to me. And because I like doing that kind of stuff. I like organizing and creating things. So I had mentioned to him, I'm like, well, I can help you out with that. So we ended up working together to prepare and create the video for one of his songs. And after doing so, he was very impressed with the work I had done. And he kept encouraging me. He's like, you should really be doing this as a business, right? You're really good at it. So it was something I was kind of thinking about, but not really. I wasn't sure at that time. But I kept working with Kay Anthony, and I did act as his manager for a couple of years. And throughout this whole time, he kept on encouraging me to start your own business. You should start doing this and working with other artists. And which slowly, eventually, I did. So I got more into, instead of the managing part of the artist, I got into the PR side of it. And then a few different artists hopped on board, and I started working with them. And then I eventually, created my business name, got that going, the Vision PR Solutions, and it kind of has just gone from there. And so to me, I think in our lives, I think we all at times, sometimes we don't see what's in ourselves, right? Sometimes it
Yeah.
takes someone else to point that out to you. And that's absolutely what he did. And yeah, so it's been really great ever since. It's been good.
Wow. And you know, it seems as if you enjoy this line of work. Why do you enjoy this line of work?
As I mentioned, I've always been involved in fundraising or organizing different events, and it's just something, we each have our little thing that we really enjoy doing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my
Mm-hmm.
thing. I enjoy, reaching out to people and I enjoy trying to get things for other people. So in the music business, in the PR business, it's getting their music on the radio, it's getting them interviews. Like I like the challenge of, getting out there and doing the most that I can do for them. So
Hmm.
that's just in me. And so that's why I enjoy doing the PR business, because it's all, every day it's a new challenge. Every day it's something new to learn. So
Hmm.
that's very enjoyable to me.
Okay, and the elephant in the room, Vision PR Solutions. How did you come up? Well, not come up with, because vision is a common word, but why did you choose Vision PR Solutions as your company name?
Well, I just thought that the word vision, every artist has their vision, a vision for their music, what they want to see in the next year, in the next 5 years. Everyone has that
Mhm.
vision of what they want. So to me, it's like, I see your vision. I want to share your vision. I want you to share it with me and, find a solution. We're going to find a solution and make your vision come true. So that's kind of where that name came from.
From the bent knee to the bouquet toss, Walter's Weddings is there. From that first glance to that first dance, Walter's Weddings is there. For your special day, in your special way, Walter's Weddings is there. Walter's Weddings, your day, your way.
And what are some of the key challenges you face in the PR industry today, especially for yours, because you are an international PR company, right?
Yes, yes. So some of the challenges, well, I found it to be the most challenging starting off, right? When I first started doing the PR work, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to develop relationships with people in the industry. You want to develop relationships and connections, and that all takes a lot of time for people to get to know you. I know a lot of people in the industry, in the radio and other media sources. They get hundreds of emails every day from so many different people. So, for them, for yours to stand out, you
Mhm.
need to develop those kinds of relationships, and it makes a big difference. But it's also challenging because I don't just look out for people in Canada. Like you mentioned, it is internationally. So it's forever ongoing. You're always looking for new connections, new relationships with people worldwide. So there's like absolutely no end to that. It keeps going. It keeps going. But I enjoy doing that and meeting new people and developing those relationships.
And being international, could you mention like some of where some of your artists are located?
Yeah, so there's a few in Canada. I work with artists in the US, Jamaica, South Africa. They
Jamaica.
they could
Okay.
honestly be anywhere in the world,
Uh-huh.
but the work that I do for them, I can do for artists. It doesn't matter where you're from. I can still
Hmm.
promote your music internationally.
Okay. And okay, so it doesn't matter the time zone, whether they're waking up while some of us are sleeping.
It doesn't matter, but it could be a little bit of a struggle sometimes. I mean, you can
Uh-huh.
ask any of my artists. They have interviews. It could be midnight, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. We had just had one on Monday at like 5:30 in the morning. But
Wow.
as you mentioned, the time difference is so great. So it might be a noon show on the radio, but we have to be up at 4 or 5 in the morning to do
Uh-huh.
that live interview, right? And we've
Yeah.
even had interviews like in Tokyo, and that's for us, that's like a 15-hour difference. So it's really something you got to keep track of, because if you're working with a few different artists and they have interviews all over the place, just trying to keep everyone's time zone straight is one thing in itself.
Yeah, I can just
Yeah.
imagine. It says so. Really says something when you are willing to put in the extra time, and I mean it's your business, but when you're willing to, put in the extra, burning the midnight oil, as some would say. My wife absolutely hates that, but
Right?
come to
Yes. Enough work
bed.
already.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And but it really shows your dedication to your craft. And I must commend you on that. And what's some of the I'm curious, what's some of the more memorable campaigns that you've worked on or artists that you've worked with?
Yeah, well, over the last 2, 3 years, we've had a lot of memorable things happening. I'm going to go back to 2021. At that time,
Mhm.
I was working with Shauna Kane and with Kay Anthony. They were both that year nominated for the same category of Juno Award. And in 2021, Shauna Kane won that Juno Award. And that was so exciting because it's like, wow, the Juno Award, right? And even for both of them, honestly, to both be nominated, like that in
At the same
itself,
time.
it's, that's
Yeah.
an amazing thing. So that was wonderful. And,
Hmm.
but, that did not slow Kay Anthony down. He
Yeah.
kept persevering and kept working hard. And if we fast forward to 2023, he won the GMA Award, which is the Gospel Music
Hmm.
Association, for the
Yeah.
Gospel Artist of the Year that year. So that was
Hmm.
an amazing achievement as well. And then this year, 2024, Kay Anthony was nominated again for a Juno Award for Contemporary Christian Gospel Album of the Year. And this year he took home that award. And
Nice.
yeah, you know, being that I've worked with him in the last 8.5 years and seeing, we both worked really hard in the last
Hmm.
eight and a
Hmm.
half years, but he has put in so much, like so much time, so much effort. Like he has persevered through it all. And, to see him win that award, to me, that meant so much because I know how much these artists put into it, right? They work so hard. And it's not even the work, it's an expensive thing to do, like producing the music, doing videos, like all that stuff. It's very costly. So they invest a lot, whether it's time away from the family. There's just so many things that, they take away from their own lives to dedicate to this music. And people on the other end, people will see, oh, or hear this song and it's like, wow, this is a great song. Like this guy's got it made, how easy, just singing, doing what he loves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I get to enjoy it. But people don't see the back end of it, right? How much work goes into it just so that you can listen to this wonderful song on the radio. They put
Exactly.
a lot of work into it. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I actually one of the reasons why I was even able to get through to you slash K Anthony Jamaica when he just started. He reminded me that I did his first music video, which is "Everything to Me."
Yes. Yeah.
You know that song, right?
I know that song. Yes. Yeah. It's a good
Yeah.
song.
Uh,
Yeah.
so to see him coming from that to coming over here, making the transition, getting nominated a couple of at least once before, and then all the way up to Junas, the next thing I can possibly we can possibly look forward to a Grammy from probably him and or Shauna Kane.
Right. Right. Yeah. There's a lot of good music coming up with, from some of my artists. And like I mentioned with Kay Anthony, yeah,
Hmm.
that would be a wonderful achievement as well. And, we're going to keep working hard. Eleni, like I said, has an album. She has an album coming out
Eleni.
August 30th. Kay Anthony has a new
Hmm.
album coming out in October. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of good things to watch out for.
Nice.
And yeah, watch
Very
for these
nice.
artists because they are hot right now. Yes.
Yeah, and you mentioned Eleni. What are some of your other artists' names?
I've been working with Alicia Ike and Tamara Melissa,
Hmm.
Demaz Cortez. Recently,
Hmm.
I started working with Brian Dirksen and Marika
Nice.
Seward, and
Interesting.
I helped them with their tour. They toured across Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. And
Hmm.
we have some more tour dates coming up soon. They have some music to release and a few other exciting things coming up. So keep a watch for all that exciting stuff about to happen.
Nice. And I can just imagine that you've seen the PR industry kind of evolve since social media. What suggestions would you have for new slash developing artists and social media and like how to use social media to their advantage?
Yeah, I think right now, what seems to be really catching on is, a lot of shorter video clips or personalized talking, because people hear your song and they love the song, but they want to know you as the artist, right? So they want to know a little bit about you. You might, so doing little clips, talking, giving them the opportunity to comment on your posts, where you comment back, they get to know about you. And even I find, if they have things going on in their life that other people can relate to, and it's pretty much everything, because whatever you have going on in your life, there is someone out there that can totally relate to what you're going through. So when they share about themselves, I think it is more beneficial way to, obtain your audience and keep people interested, because people feel like, wow, I'm going through that too, right? Or, or
Yeah.
they never imagined that this artist, experienced these things in their life or had gone through certain things. So to
Mm-hmm.
know that they can relate to different situations like that, that's
Mm-hmm.
big. That's a big thing. Just be open, because people want to know. They want to know the real you. They want to know the artist. So that's a big thing. And I know there's a lot of new things coming out in social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's like the AI that'll like write songs for you. And I don't know how I feel about that, because honestly,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's the artist's craft. And I know when you got that talent and you're a good writer, I like to, maybe I'm old fashioned. It's like, I want the person to actually write the
Mm-hmm.
song, because they're writing about true life experiences. And, you know, it still has a lot of meaning, but there's a lot of new things coming out in social media and technology
Mm-hmm.
that, they can use. But I feel, just be real with people and be real with yourself. And that's what they want to see. They want to know the real you.
Oh, nice. And let's say you have that kid out there who's looking to go into start a career in public relations. What advice would you give someone who is looking to start that career or this career?
Right. I guess, the main things would be, are you prepared to work long hours, to all kinds of hours, right? Because of the different time zones. You know, I would suggest that, that you're a people person, that you like talking to
Mm-hmm.
people and forming relationships and connections with people, because that is a big thing. As much as I
Mm-hmm.
say I do it all from home on my computer and stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
still have to develop those relationships. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of hard work, and it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a 24/7 job.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just, be prepared for that. And you got to really love what you're doing if you want to get into something like that, I would say.
That's great advice. Thank you for that. Um, but you seem very career driven. My question to you is, how do you keep a balance between your work and your personal life? I asked K. Anthony this, and he said that he basically gave me a rundown of his day. So what's it like for you, being a PR person and balancing work and home life?
Yeah. Well, I'm a single mother, but my son's already 21. He's old enough. And so, I can
Mm-hmm.
put him to work. I get him involved in the business. And this is how we like have our connection time, right?
Yeah.
So I do work, a regular job, but so I do this, on the evenings, weekends. This is
Mm-hmm.
my passion that I really put in, that means a lot to me. So
Mm-hmm.
to tell you about my day, well, I guess, you know what, and I also want to mention, like this last year, unfortunately, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, like
Oh
in
wow.
in 2023. So that put another, how would you want to say it? It made it more difficult, right? It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
harder. But in a sense, I had such good support from all of my artists. Like everyone was so amazing. And it was
Interesting.
something, this truly was so very helpful for me, because it kept my mind off other things, right? You're
Yeah.
not just sitting and pondering about,
Yeah, yeah.
what's going to happen, or is it going to be okay? And I was very grateful for this because it kept me doing
Kept you sane.
something.
It kept you
Yes,
sane.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yeah.
And first of all, I'm sorry that you were diagnosed with the big C cancer. Um, um, I don't know how much you're willing to speak about that, but how is it with you now?
Yeah, everything seems to be going well so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had my surgery, I've had my treatments. So right now
Nice,
I got like the green light to go. So
good.
thanks
Uh,
to everyone for their prayers and for their support, because honestly it meant so much to me. So
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Um, so let's talk about something more exciting. Are there any upcoming projects or goals or stuff that you're excited about?
yeah, so there's, like I said, Eleni and Kay Anthony have new music coming out. Eleni just had a song released, Provider, on July 6th. And Kay Anthony just released another new song on July 5th called Your Word with Lloyd Nix.
Uh-huh.
And Kay Anthony will have a couple more songs coming out throughout the summer. Eleni's album comes out on August 30th, and it's self-named. It's titled Eleni, so watch out for that. And Kay Anthony's album, Miracles, is coming out October 25th, I believe. So yeah, a lot of exciting things. And then, as I had previously mentioned, more tour dates with Brian Dirksen and Marika Stewart,
Yeah.
and new music coming from them. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of exciting things happening over the next few months here. So check out our Instagram, check out Facebook, and keep watch for all these exciting things happening.
Okay, that's awesome. And are is there any specific criteria for you when you're selecting an art? Let's say someone wants to work with you. Is there any specific criteria that the person needs to have before approaching Vision PR Solutions?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And anyone's welcome to reach out to me at any time if they have questions, if they just want to discuss it. Maybe they're not ready at this point for that, but they want to know the steps to prepare themselves, right? And everyone's on a one-on-one basis. Everyone's situation might be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how much experience they have and the knowledge they have. So feel free to reach out to me at any time if you just want to have a conversation or know more about what I offer. But as for criteria, I think they just need to be prepared and have a plan in place. They need to have a good support team behind them, because it is going to be a lot of work and it's a lot of time and effort. So I always like to just talk to them and, make sure that they're ready for the next few steps. And I say, having that support team, having just well prepared for what they want and what their goals are, what they want to see in the next year, what they want to see in 5 years from now, so that we know we have that same vision as.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And you said they can reach out to you at any time. What's your email and your socials that they can reach to you at?
Yeah, so on Facebook and on Instagram, it's Vision PR Solutions. I have
Mm-hmm.
a website that should be ready in a couple of weeks here, and that'll just be visionprsolutions.com.
Okay.
Email address is visionpr7, the number
Mm-hmm.
7, at gmail.com. So
Mm-hmm.
reach out anytime for any questions, and yeah, I'd be more than happy to speak with you.
Okay, great. And we are at the Uno round, which is kind of a surprise round. Just a little thing that I like to throw in. It's I don't know if you've ever played the card game Uno, but
Many
in
years
Uno,
ago, many
many
years
years
ago.
ago, yeah, it's very simple, guys. You just match colors and numbers, but there are some special cards in there, which would be the skip, the draw two, the draw four, the reverse, and the wild. And so for us here at What's It Like, we converted those into questions. So you can choose two of those questions and two of those cards, and we have relating questions to them. So again, it's skip, draw two, draw four, reverse, and wild.
I'm going to take a skip and a reverse.
Okay, so skip. What is that you would choose to skip and why?
Do I have to skip any? I think every part of my life has been, an essential part to make me who I am today. So I don't think I have any particular period in my life where I'd say, man, I wish I could just fast forward that. I mean, okay, I take that back. I didn't want to go through the cancer. I didn't want to go through, I was very sick with COVID a couple of years before that, and I was hospitalized. Wow. So we could skip those parts, but in all reality, those things happen for a reason, right? And it builds us to who we are today. Like everything has a purpose. And maybe I needed to go through that for something more important that's coming up in my life, to prepare me for something more. So I don't want to skip anything.
Okay. And finally, reverse, which is ask me a question.
Okay, so I want to ask you, I know you had mentioned that you did some music work with Kevin way back in the day. So tell me about how far back your involvement with music goes.
Okay. All right. So I almost credit almost everything to my brother, because my brother introduced me to a cappella music when they released their a cappella platinum album in the 90s. That was the first time I was hearing any form of music. After that, I heard Michael Bolton and stuff, but I focused on a cappella because in Jamaica, where I grew up, there's a lot of a cappella groups because, it's easy to start a group because it's just voices. And then when I went to college, in my 20s, I started, I was in different groups, but I actually was more behind the camera now because I was actually studying communication studies. So when I saw that there was kind of a gap or a space or a glut for 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 Christian music promotion, especially Adventist Christian music promotion in Jamaica, my brother and we started a company called Ventist Events, when in, I believe it was 2010/11, and we would go and cover special events via photography and some video as well. So basically, you're talking about close to 16, 17 years if we're doing from 2011. So about 15 years now. And that because we were going to church events and doing free photography promotion, basically, we actually got calls to cover concerts. So if a cappella or any major dentist promotion company is putting on a concert in Jamaica, Ventist Events is actually one of the official photographers, official photographers for music events and special events in Jamaica. But then fast forward to now, well, not fast forward, but one of the most important things that I failed to mention earlier is that because we're going to events, people kept asking us, hey, do you guys do weddings? Because they would see the pictures and ask if we do weddings. And like my brother and I looked at each other and said, I guess so. We're doing it now.
We do
So
it now.
we started, So we started Walter's Weddings in about 2012. And 2018, we were awarded as the third best wedding photography company in the Caribbean.
Oh, wow. That is excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you. So by us doing the stuff for God basically for free, and that being our ministry with our talent, he then rewarded us with a great wedding business that now does weddings from as far north as here in Canada, because I'm here in Canada, and as far south as Trinidad and Tobago. So
Oh,
all
wow.
throughout North America and Central America, the Caribbean, and South America.
Excellent. That is so good. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and so I started What's It Like with Yorks, just piggybacking off of that success, and now I'm actually completing writing a book called Nice Guys Finished First. It will be releasing sometime in August. We're not exactly sure yet because I'm kind of tying it into the birth of my child.
Exciting. You got a lot of exciting things coming up, it sounds like.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That is so
yes.
good. I love hearing good stuff like this. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. And that's my
Yeah.
second child. My first child, she's 5, and she just came downstairs asking me something. But we digress. But I really enjoyed this interview. Inside joke, third time's a charm. But I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this interview, and I really, really enjoyed speaking with you, Sharon.
Yeah, it's been excellent. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, perseverance pays off.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for making it What's It Like with Yorks. I'm your host, Yorks, and remember, we're not all in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm. Have a great day.